أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the G3 Hifz class. Could I please request the support teacher to unmute a student to recite the opening prayer, please?
Can I request G3515 to unmute their mic?
Okay, so it's G3155.
Sorry, G3515.
515. Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Jazakallah. Would you like to recite the starting prayer?
Okay.
Yeah, start with Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas sami'ul alim. Our Lord, accept from us, for you are all hearing, all knowing. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 128.
Good, really good, well done. So now over the course, we will obviously learn some new rules and then you can perfect your recitation as well. So for now, I can just say that it was really good, well done. But we'll practice on, for example, the Noon Gunna, so we'll connect it for a bit longer for 2 seconds. For example, it will be A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It will be minna. So you just have to be a bit pausing on the Noon Gunna. But that will come. It was good. Well done. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah, Hafiz.
Hafiz. Okay, so today's lesson, you have already been revising Surah Ar-Rahman, verses 1 to 6, and then you have been learning from 7 to 9. But we'll just recap on these verses today. So we'll be reciting verses 1 to 9 in today's lesson. But before we start our class, please be reminded that you have to follow certain etiquettes. Make sure that before the class you have performed a wuzu and that you're wearing clean clothes. It's also very important that your head is covered throughout the class, especially for the Quranic recitations. It's very important that you sit with an adult so they can assist and monitor you and your progress, or if you need any help, they can obviously help you out. And please remember, if you're signed in with your name, to please sign in with the correct ID that was emailed to you. You can have a very quick half a minute now to rename yourself and sign back in with the correct ID. Right, so we'll start with a rule for now before we go into the revision. We'll learn about the 5 letters of Qalqalah. These are Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. So these 5 letters, when they appear with a sukoon, or at the end, or pausing at the end of the verse, for example, they have to be pronounced with a jerking sound. So do make a jerking sound during the recitation if these 5 letters appear with a sukoon. So the jerking sound should be soft when the letter appears in the middle of a word. For example, here it's just in the middle of the word, and moderate, so not very soft and not too strong, moderately when the letter appears at the end of the word, and strong when the letter is at the end, carrying a tashdid symbol. Now, for example here, this arrow should rather be on the jim, yeah, not on the noon, so it will be on the jim. This one will be pronounced as one najm, najm, j. So you're jerking a bit on here, yeah? And then we have dot, dot. So you're jerking a bit. The jerking here in these both words will be quite soft because the jerking letters or the qalqala letters, Jim in this case and Ta in this case here, appear in the middle of a word. Actually, can I request the support teacher to unmute a student so we can go through these two examples as well?
Yes, can I request G3 502 to unmute their mic?
G3 502, Assalamu alaikum. G3 502. Assalamu alaikum.
I think they're having some mic issues. I will call another student.
Okay.
Can I request G3 564 to unmute their mic?
G3 564. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Could you please recite these two words? Make sure that you also joke when you come to the qalqala letters in these two examples.
Okay. One najmu tatghaw.
So the second one was really good. So you did have a qalqala sound here, tatghaw. But think about the jim. So don't worry about the arrow. The arrow is wrong. It shouldn't be on the noon. It should be on the jim. So this one, do repeat after me. I'll recite this one. One najmu. Najm.
Najmu.
Really good. Well done. Okay, so we'll practice the qalqala letters in the coming weeks anyway. But for now, we'll go on to our revision for the verses. Could I please request the support teacher to unmute another student now?
Can I request G3 529 to unmute their mic?
Okay, G3 529. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, I'm good too. Jazakallah. Right, so you will be reciting the first few verses. I'll tell you where to stop. So I would suggest you do recite the first 6 verses of this page, but do recite or start to recite with Dawaz and Tasmiyah then.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان.
Okay, good, well done. We can still improve a bit on your recitation here. So let's start together. I'll recite it and you will recite the verses after me, okay? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن
الرحمن
good علم القرآن
علم القرآن
good خلق الإنسان
خلق الإنسان
علمه البيان
علمه البيان.
It's not la, it's allamahul.
Allah.
So it's the ayn that you need to make a bit of a thick sound, and then it's allamahul.
Allamahul bayan.
Good. Then next one is ash-shamsu wal qamaru bi husban.
Ash-shamsu wal qamaru bihan.
Pay attention here. It's wal qamaru bi husban.
Wal qamaru bi husban.
Good, really good. Yeah. Do make sure that you pronounce the strokes like the fatha or the kasra correctly as well. Yeah. So this is the fatha, which is ma, not dhamma. So you don't round off your mouth here. But good, well done. So you can improve. I hope you did make some notes as well. Right. Can we have another student now, please?
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
In what age? My brother's 5, so can he just start doing G1 classes?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you have the email that you need to contact us on? I'll put it on the screen. Just bear with me a moment. Hold on. There you go. Do make a note of this email. Yeah.
Okay.
And it will be there in the recordings as well, so you can come back to this or take a screenshot very quickly, and you can email your query to this one here, and they will be able to help you out. Or you can go to this website, and yeah, you can have a look on all the classes that's available. Okay.
Okay.
Right. But you have to be 6 years old.
Oh, my brother's nearly 6. His
Yeah,
birthday is December 21st.
All right. Okay. So yeah, do email your query and they should be able to resolve it. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. No worries.
Have a nice day.
And you, Jazakallah. All right. So can we have another student?
I request G3 601 to unmute their mic.
G3 601. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. All right. So you will be reciting the next verses from verse 7 to 9, but remember to recite with vowels and tasmiyah.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Good, well done. Did you notice the qalqala letter here? The one that we just revised earlier, a few minutes ago? No? That's absolutely fine, no worries. So we'll go through, no worries. We'll go through a few pieces that you still need to revise a bit on. So it's this part, that one that I've highlighted. So it will be وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ. So let's try this verse again. وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ. Try again. G3601, are you still there? I think
I couldn't unmute, no.
Oh, sorry, yeah, could you please recite this verse again?
Okay. وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ.
Brilliant, very good. And you did have a slight jerk here because that is the jerking sound here, the qalqala letter. You see that jim with the sukoon at the top? And that's when you do the moderate or the soft, rather soft, not moderate. So the soft jerking sound, and you did that one. Good. Now let's have a look here. Here you did prolong for 2 seconds now. That is good. But you need to prolong here much, much longer because, well, you will learn about this in the coming weeks. But this one you need to be prolonging for about 4 to 6 seconds. Yeah. So let's try this one. وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا. So just try for this bit for now.
Okay. وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا.
Good, well done. So try to have that whole verse done.
Okay. وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ.
Good, really good. Just 2 seconds as well here as well, but otherwise it's really good. So it will be وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ. Yeah. Good, really good. Okay, so we will now go on to the revision then. I hope you did have a chance to revise off or memorize some of the verses already now. Can I request the support teacher to unmute a student, please?
Can my sister read?
Yeah, sure. Does she got the same, what ID does she got?
G3602.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. Did you revise a few verses of this surah?
Yes.
Good, well done. Okay, off you go then.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان الله في الميزان.
Okay, good, very good. Let's have a look at a few things that we can still improve on. So, hold on, where is it? Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's revise together. Do you want to recite from the screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay, go for it. Start again. Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Good.
الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان.
Really good. So you did recite really well, actually. But now remember to revise off up to verse 9. Okay?
Okay.
Really good. Jazakallah. Okay, so can we have another student now, please?
Can I ask G3640 to unmute their mic?
G3640. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Did you revise some verses?
Yes.
Good, well done. Off you go then.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان النجم والشجر يسجدان السماء رفع ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Okay, Jazakallah. That's up to verse 8. Let's have a look at a few things that we can still improve on. That was here. Can you recite this verse again? And you can read it from...
والنجم والشجر يسجدان.
Yes. And do remember that we have a jerking letter here. Qalqala letter, yeah. How do you pronounce this one?
والنجم والشجر والنجم
والنجم والنجم والشجر يسجدان. Good. And then this verse here as well. Let's practice this one. You can recite it after.
والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان.
Yes, good. So the reading off is good. Do remember to memorize them correctly as well, and the 9th verse as well for up to today's class then, yeah? Good, really good. Well done. Jazakallah.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay, can we have the next student, please, now?
641.
Okay. G3 641. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
Fine.
Good, good.
How
Well
are
done.
you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Right, do you want to recite?
Yes.
Yeah, off you go then.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علم والبيان الشمس والقمر والضياء والنجم والشجر والسماء.
Good, well done. Okay, so let's have a look at a few things that we can improve on. This one here. Let's recite this one off the screen. You can read from the screen. Read it.
الشمس ما
Wal. That's a word.
قمر be just
Okay, that's her. Bi husban. Good, very good, well done. Okay, so what you need to do is revise them as a recitation. That's going really well with your memorization actually, but just revise them off as a recitation, as a continuous recitation, and that should be fine. Shall we do a bit of a practice now? So read after me, okay? You can practice reciting. That will be Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. الشمس والقمر بحسبان. Really good, well done. Okay, let's try the next one as well. Okay, so I'll recite it for you. I'll recite it for you and you can recite after me, okay? As a one verse, we'll do that. And remember, yeah, okay, good, well done. Shall we have a go together, yeah? All right, so we'll have a Qalqala letter here as well, the one that we just revised in today's lesson. We have to jerk a bit on this one here, so a bit of a jerking sound. One najm. Can you say that? One najm. Yeah. One najm washajaru yasjudan.
والنجم
Washajaru yasjudan. Good. Okay. Well done. So you can practice. You can memorize these verses for homework, okay? Good. Well done. Oops. What's happening? What's happening with my PDF? All right, we're back. Right. So can I have another student now, please?
I request G3670 to unmute their mic.
G367.
Alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, good. How are you?
I'm good too. Jazakallah. Right, so do you want to have a go with the reciting?
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والنجم والشجر بمسجدان.
You want to recite from verse 1 actually, so from the beginning, so verse 2 then of Surah Al-Rahman.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم شجرة المسجدان والشجر.
Yeah, is that up to here? Yeah, okay. So let's have a look at a few things that we can still improve on. Right, that was here. So you forgot one wa. I think it was this one.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So do you want to recite from the beginning of this verse actually? So you can recite from the screen if you like so.
Okay. والنجم والشجر يسجدان.
Continue.
Okay. والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان.
Good, very good. So you do have to have a galgala here, which you did try to have as well. Do you prolong for 2 seconds? Yes, Judan. And then you did prolong here as well, which was actually good. Just try to prolong a little bit longer. وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise really good. You just have to revise off the last verse now if you haven't done already, but that's really good then. Okay. Jazakallah.
I want to ask a question.
Yes.
How do we log on G1 class, because my brother is already 6 now? How do we log on in G1 class, because my brother is 6 years old now?
Yes. You should have received an email from the G1 team. Did you receive an email with your login details?
I don't really know.
Maybe ask your mum. She should know that maybe she received an email with the login, like your class ID, your ID that you usually log in with, because your ID is, for example, G3670. So your brother for G1 should have received a similar or, well, an ID as well that he needs to log in with, okay?
Yes, okay.
And however, with the G1 classes, they haven't started yet, though. Maybe that's why you haven't received anything, because they start in September.
Okay.
Right. Jazakallah, Hafiz.
Jazakallah.
Okay, so can we have another student here, please?
Can I request G3590 to unmute their mic?
G3590, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Right.
Can you wait for a few minutes? I just have to open up. I usually read from my own Quran.
You shouldn't be reading from your own Quran, because you should be reciting to me what you've memorized so far, actually.
Okay.
So do you want to have a go and check how much you've already memorized?
Yeah.
Okay, off you go then. Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن والشمس والشمس.
So here you're modeling up now. You're skipping. So I'll screen share now. I hope you can still see it, but that was up to verse 3. 4 actually a bit, yeah. So hold on, where is my? Yeah, there you go. So you did recite up to here.
Should I try again, but just like looking at the screen?
If it's visible for you, if you can look it up from the screen, yes, of course. So you've memorized up to verse 3, but if you'd like, you can read on up to verse 6 from the screen. Yes, go on.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ar-Rahman allama al-Qur'an khalaqal insan allamahul bayan ash-shamsu wal-qamaru bihusban wan-najmu wash-shajaru يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Good, really good. So we'll stop here now because that's just a revision up to verse 9. But remember to have the gargala. You did a bit of a gargala here, but remember that this was the second example in these verses about the gargala. So ta is a gargala letter, and you should be softly jerking this letter in this word. So it will be alla tatghaw fil mizan. Try this one again, this verse, the last one. Do you want to start again? Good, well done. So just a bit of more practice and you will be there. Let's have a look here. So you were jumbling a bit on this verse, on verse 8. وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ. رَفَعَهَا. Yeah, try this one again.
وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ.
Good, much better now this time. So yes, do memorize on, because that was just reading off the screen, wasn't it? So you need to revise and memorize up to verse 9 then for homework. Okay?
Okay, Jazakallah.
Right. So can we have another student now, please?
Can I request G3 568 to unmute their mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, walaikum salam. How are you?
Good.
Good. Okay. Do you want to have a go?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علم علمه البيان الشجر.
No. Mixing up.
Yeah, mixing up. I don't.
Okay, no worries. But it was good. Let's have a look here. Okay, so you've done up to hold on, what was it? Yeah. That's Ash-Shamsu. So
Okay,
you can recite, yeah, you can recite again. You can recite from this verse, so from verse 5 to verse 6 then.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان.
Good, yeah. So you just need to revise off the next few verses for homework then. Okay. Jazakallah.
Please.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, can we have another student now, please?
I request G3 593 to unmute their mic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Right, do you want to have a go and recite the verses that you've memorized?
Yes, I memorized the first surah till the sixth surah first.
That's really good. That's really good. Well done. Do you want to have a go?
Yes, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. So you did actually memorize the whole bit. That's really good. Okay, so let's just practice a tiny bit on the qalqala letter though. So we have one qalqala letter here, which is the Jim, and we do have a qalqala letter, which is the Ta. So let's try these two verses. Do you want to have a go?
Yes, please. والنجم والشجر يسجدان.
Good. And the last verse here.
ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Really good. Well done. Jazakallah.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. All right, can we have another student now, please?
I request G3 607. Unmute their mic.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm fine. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Jazakallah. So do you want to recite the verses you've memorized so far?
Yes.
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان. جزاك
Really
الله.
good. Well, yeah, really good actually. So you memorized all of the verses. Now let's have a look with the with the tawuz. I heard that you were putting kind of a qasra, so you were reciting yauz or something. So let's try to have that read again from the screen. So if you can recite the tawuz again, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Yes, that's good. So it's a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. No noon ghunna sound here. Minash shaitanir rajim. Good. Now let's have a look on your recitations here. You did actually quite well. It's just that we can practice a bit on the qalqala. This qalqala I did hear, yeah. So that was good. But let's practice on the last verse again.
ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Really good. Well done. Jazakallah.
جزاك الله.
Okay, can we have another student now, please?
Can I request G3 509 to unmute their mic?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Walaikum salam. How are you?
ठीक है, आपका क्या हाल है?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Jazakallah. Do you want to have a go with the recitation?
Yes, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Okay, that was good, but we can still practice a bit. So, sorry. So, for example, on these beginnings here, it's not ala, yeah, it's Allah, because you have a connection here. You see, we've got the lam is carrying a shadda, so it will be allama al-Qur'an. So you need to connect. Same here, allamahul bayan, not ala. Do you want to try these verses again?
Yes.
Allamal Qur'an Allamahul bayan.
Yeah, just keep them for just 1 second because you don't have a vertical fatha here. Yeah, just keep them for 1 second. So it will be, for example, Allamal Qur'an Allamahul bayan. So very quick, nothing prolonging here. And then on this one here, we need to practice a bit of, well, you need to memorize the correct wording here as well because you are modeling up a tiny bit. So let's have a look on this one. It will be Ash-Shamsu wal-Qamaru bi-Husban.
Ash-Shamsu wal-Qamaru bi-Husban.
Yeah, so it's not wala again because you have sakoon, so you need to connect and stop. Ash-Shamsu Ash-Shamsu wal-Qamaru bi-Husban.
Ash-Shamsu wal-Qamaru bi-Husban.
Good. Now let's have a look on the next part. Again, we need to practice on this one. Also, you have to have a galgala letter here, yeah? So a galgala sound. وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ.
وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ.
Yes. So half the qalqala. وَالنَّجْمُ نَجْمُ. وَالنَّجْمُ.
وَالنَّجْمُ
وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ.
وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ.
Good. So you can practice later for your qalqala letters. It will be وَالنَّجْمُ. And then you can recite off the last verse again, please. Again, remember that we have a qalqala letter here.
أَلَّا تَطْغَوْا فِي الْمِيزَانِ.
Yeah. It's أَلَّا تَطْغَوْا فِي الْمِيزَانِ.
أَلَّا تَطْغَوْا فِي الْمِيزَانِ.
Good. Very good. Yeah. So you can practice on your qalqala letters as well as on your memorization.
Okay, can my sister read?
Yes, of course. Can I have her ID, please?
Her ID is G3510.
Okay. Jazakallah. So, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Okay. Let's listen as to what you've memorized then.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Okay, that's good. But we can still practice a tiny bit here. So for example, on, what was it, this one here, it's not insan, you have to hide it, but this will come. Don't worry about this one. But do recite after me for now. So it will be خلق الإنسان.
خلق الإنسان.
Yeah, so yeah, you will practice later then. And then the starting here, الشمس الشمس والقمر بحسبان.
الشمس والقمر بحسبان.
Yeah, so make sure that you don't prolong the fatha here. It's very quick. It's just very quick. 1 second. قمر قمر.
قمر.
Yeah, والقمر.
والقمر.
Yeah, so it will be الشمس والقمر بحسبان.
الشمس والقمر بحسبان.
Good. And then you had to have the qalqala sounds. Let's try these as well. والنجم.
والنجم.
والنجم والشجر يسجدان.
والنجم والشجر يسجدان.
So it will come. You will just have to practice a bit more on the jerking sound. So the jerking is kind of a vibrating sound, not really vibrating. So you're jerking a bit on this part here softly. Yeah, والنجم نجم والنجم والنجم والشجر يسجدان.
والنجم.
Good.
والنجم والشجر يسجدان.
Yes. Keep in mind that you just have to prolong for 1 second. Yeah, don't prolong. Now the last verse as well. Do you have a qalqala or a jerking sound on the bar? So it will be ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
تطغوا في الميزان
ميزان.
ميزان
ألا تطغوا في الميزان. So you will have to practice on your qalqala sounds, okay?
Okay, please can my
Yeah,
sister
Jazakallah. Sorry?
please can my sister read?
We are now approaching towards the end, so inshallah next class.
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah. Okay, so now before we end our class, please be reminded that we have our Khilafat Day on the 26th May. And for this, you can send in recordings by this Saturday, 21st May, for wherever you want to participate in. So if you want to participate in Tilawat, do make sure that you send in your recordings by the 21st, or even Hadith, so anything that you want to take part in or want to recite on the Khilafat Day, which is on 26th of May. Do send in your recordings on this email. Do make a note of this one. So it's G3Hifz@gmail.com. And the recordings should be received by this Saturday, 21st May. Now, the tilawat, for example, what you need to recite, or the recordings if you want to take part, the recording for your tilawat and translation should be about chapter 24, which is Surah An-Nur, and it will be verse 56. So do make a note of these parts here if you want to take part. Now, for example, if you want to take part in Hadith, make a note of this one, this Hadith here. So you will be reciting this one here. And for the sayings of the promised Messiah, al-Islam, it's from Al-Wasiyah, page 6 to 7, and it's this part. I hope you're making some notes or screenshots if you want to take part, and if you want to send in some recordings. And if you want to recite a nazm, you have a choice of these three. So you can choose any of these three nazm, and you can send in your recording by this Saturday. And for the English speech, these are the three topics. So the first topic is blessings of Khilafat. Second topic is concept of Khilafat. And the third one is any other Khilafat topic of your choice, but it's all up to you. And you need to make sure that you do send in your recordings by this Saturday to the email provided. Right, so before we now end our class, this is your homework. Please make note of this. You will need to revise, but also memorize Surah Al-Rahman, so the verses that we have been reciting today, that's verses 1 to 9. Make sure that you do revise them before your next class. And then we have a knowledge quest as well. What you need to do is find the meaning of this verse. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. So you need to find the meaning for this one. That's your knowledge quest. Now, before we close, I can recap on what we've done so far. We've gone through Surah Al-Rahman. The meaning of Surah Al-Rahman is the gracious. So that's the attribute of Allah Ta'ala, of God. So the gracious God. So that is chapter 55 and is located in part 27 of the Holy Qur'an. It has 3 rukus and is comprised of 79 verses. And this surah, Surah Al-Rahman, was revealed in Mecca. Now, before we end our class now, could we please recite the ending prayer? Could I please request the support teacher to unmute a student?
I request G35232 to unmute their mic.
G35232, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
Good. Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Do you want to recite the ending prayer?
Okay. Allahumma
Start with Dawuz and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم.
Do you want to read the translation?
Allah have mercy on me through the great Quran.
Good. Let's try to practice a bit on the prayer as well. So it's Allahumma irhamni bil-Qur'an al-Azim. Try this one again. Allahumma irhamni.
Allahumma
Yeah. Allahumma irhamni bil-Qur'an al-Azim.
Allahumma irhamni bil-Qur'an al-Azim.
Good. Well done. Now, can you also recite this prayer?
Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahmah, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Good. Okay, so let's practice on this one here as well. So it's وَاجْعَلْهُ لِي إِمَامًا وَنُورًا وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً. So make sure that you prolong here. It will come, you will learn about the prolonging, but let's practice on the prayer here to prolong for about 4 to 5 seconds. So it's وَاجْعَلْهُ لِي إِمَامًا Wajh. Remember the kalkala sound from today. Wajh.
Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa
Hudan wa.
hudan wa rahmah.
Good, very good. So you can practice on the prayer as well for maybe next classes. So it's وَاجْعَلْهُ لِي إِمَامًا وَنُورًا وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً. Good, very good. Jazakallah. So Jazakallah to all students for attending today's class. You all did really well. And do remember to send in your recordings by this Saturday. And I hope you did make a note of the parts that you want to take part in. And yeah, Jazakallah to all students for joining this class. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.